Alrighty. Send out the reminder, letting everybody know what's up. Whoever Jake Paul is, real names only, I guess. I don't know why you've got Jake Paul as your YouTube name unless you are actually the real Jake Paul, in which case, surprised. I guess. Alrighty. Go ahead and, if you can, please comment with your name just so I know you're there. That way I can account for everybody's extra credit. I hope everybody's doing all right. I hope everybody has power. If you didn't have power for a little bit there, I know I lost mine for about a day or so, which wasn't very fun at all. So, pull this up. There we go. It ain't working. What do you mean it ain't working? I need a little bit more in terms of. Oh, your power. Oh, your power ain't working. Oh, okay. Yeah, Georgia Power is working really hard, but um, you know, a ton of people are. Alrighty. Early adopters, if you will. All right, let's see what they got going on. Georgia power outage. They are making progress, at least. I haven't been over by Cross Keys, so I don't know if Cross Keys suffered any damage. Hopefully, it did not. Just because I feel like that'll negatively impact everybody. But We will find out tomorrow when we get there, won't we? I'm thinking they canceled school. Excuse me. I'm thinking they canceled school on Monday and Tuesday for the storm, Wednesday for power. I imagine there's a lot of places that still did not have power. So what have you guys been doing with your super long weekend? Yeah, sleeping's pretty great. Not much else to do when you don't have power. No internet, no power, nothing. Oh, studying unit 2. Good for you. I ended up spending pretty much all of yesterday at my parents' house. It was awful. Just sitting there doing nothing. Give it a little bit more before we really get started, just because I scheduled it for 1:30. We'll see how turnout goes as we get closer. Luis, I love the use of both the word swimming and the swimming emoji, in case we didn't get it. Yeah, the AC not working, that's going to be a problem. That was the AC not working in my place was the number one reason I had to go to my parents yesterday. I could have stuck it out here, but it was getting cold. Those of you just getting in, if you haven't yet, please make sure that you comment with your name. That way I can make sure to mark you down for your extra credit. Alrighty, so a robot and a sad face? That's sad. Sad robot? I don't know. Um, while we're going over this, if you can have your map packet with you, um, just because that'll help you understand some of this geography, especially. or have a way to look at a map of the Middle East uh, available, or if you know the map of the Middle East, just know it, then you're good. But some of these cities are really close to one another, so you're going to want to have a way to distinguish. But I'll go over that a little bit more when I can actually visually be in front of you guys tomorrow. Alrighty, let's see what we're running at right now. Let's see, it says 15 right now. Alright. Pretty good. Yeah, Sophia, I got sick right at the end of last week. I had a cold that threw me for a loop. I was laid out Saturday and most of Sunday just waiting to get better. And then when they started canceling school, I was looking forward to it because it meant I could actually get a little bit healthier before I had to go back in. I'm hoping everything is still functioning in the classroom. I'm worried what sort of damage might have happened to the trailers at Cross Keys since we have so many and they're so tightly packed. Hopefully everything's all right. That's not a that's not really a brag. Like that's not like a good nickname to try to claim for yourself. I wouldn't try to I wouldn't try to claim that one. If I were you, I would go with something else. Hey, hey, language, language. Be nice to each other. You haven't seen each other in 5 days. Basically a fall break right now. I'm actually a little worried that they might get rid of or trim a future uh, vacation period this semester to make up for the lack of days. I don't know how many school days or how many snow days rather they plan in, but hopefully they will not screw with anybody's vacation schedule, because that will not be fun for anybody. While we're waiting, if you know any of your classmates don't check Remind that often or don't check it as often as they should, um, please tell them to go ahead and sign in if they're gonna. Yeah, picture day. I don't know. I haven't heard. Um, my guess is assume that the schedule hasn't changed until they say otherwise. So if they if it turns out that they're going to move picture day to another day, then maybe they will. I don't think they will, but if they do, they'll tell us. But my guess is because it's something that they had to schedule with an outside group, the photographer, it's probably harder to move that schedule and get everything done for the yearbook in time. So my guess is that everything will still be happening just the same tomorrow. I know the plan is to give you guys progress reports tomorrow, but yeah. Willie? Willie, what class period are you in? Yeah, it'll be a long time until there's a Hurricane Wittenstein. I go to Chambly High. All right. Well, hi, Willie. I don't know how you got this link, but hello. What we learning today? Well, today we learning about intro vocab, Islam, and the medieval era in the Islamic world. Actually, that does remind me. Picture day is tomorrow. I probably got to get a haircut today. Getting a little long. The blood drive. My guess is probably um, with all the emergencies, the hurricanes both in Houston and in Florida with Irma, and just in the area, the Red Cross is not going to be canceling any blood drives. So, uh, as far as I know, everything is still on for tomorrow, as it normally would be. Schedule should still be the same, time start and stop, everything like that. So, the blood drive will probably still be on. Because I think that's, again, the kind of thing that they set up day of. Um, am I still going to give out snacks for those who donate? Yeah, that's the plan. Again, the blood drive should still be happening. I still plan on having snacks for those who donate. Um, if you are planning on giving blood tomorrow, please make sure you have a significant breakfast, that you actually do have something of substance before you donate blood, because otherwise you're at risk of passing out when you donate. and nobody wants that. I had a student actually last year who basically passed out, not passed out, but like got lightheaded sitting down in my class and like couldn't get up. I was like, uh-oh, I think I'm gonna pass out. Hadn't had breakfast. Will the school give you a day off if we donate blood? No. You don't get a day off if you donate blood. If you donate blood before my class or during my class and you're in my class, you can probably just like sit in the back and like quietly doze off. But that's just because you're a pint low on blood. But the school won't just let you go home after you donate blood. Like, the process itself isn't that long. So you'll have more than enough time to get the rest of your school day in. What time are we starting? My plan is to start in a couple minutes. I wanted to the original. I want to get closer to the original 1:30 start time. So maybe another minute or two before I go ahead and get started. Just because I assume you guys have other things to do today. I don't know. Actually, it's probably not true. I assume this is the highlight of your day. Just because, you know, it's history class, but in video form on YouTube. I wish Mr. Hurd would let us wear what we want on picture day. Sophia, I see where you're coming from, but if excuse me, I imagine they want it to look uniform in the yearbook, like uniform as in a same look across the board, so everybody in the right clothes and shirts and stuff. If anything, tomorrow is definitely not the day to be out of uniform because my gut says they're going to be even pickier than usual about uniform because they don't want anybody getting away with non-uniform for the yearbook. And then somebody else saying later, oh, how come this person got to wear whatever they want for the uniform? How come I didn't get to wear whatever I want for the uniform? So we'll see. Don't forget. Let's see. Don't forget to check in by typing your name in the chat so you can get the extra tidbit. There we go. So, yeah, if you guys haven't already, I type in your name in just so I know that you were there, and I'll go through and mark it down for extra credit in my book. So, we will go ahead and get started. So, in the link is, in the description of the video is the link to the Quizlet set. The Unit 2 Intro Vocab. Basically, this is what my plan. Again, the plan changed, so we'll once I get in tomorrow, I'll figure out what sort of lesson planning we'll be doing for the week. So the first couple items, starting at the top, Constantinople, we talked about a little. It's formerly the Greek colony of Byzantium. The name changed by Constantine I. So Constantine I, Constantinople, that's where you get the name from. And it became the capital of what was first the Eastern Roman Empire. Later, it would simply become known, excuse me, as the Byzantine Empire. Now, Yeah, I'll get to that later. The next one, Istanbul, name for Constantinople. After Constantinople was conquered by the Ottomans in 1453, they changed the name to Istanbul, and that's the name it's been ever since. Jerusalem, ancient city in modern-day Israel, holy to all three Abrahamic religions. Israel is the capital of the modern. It's holy to the Jews. It's holy to the Jews because it was the site of the ancient Holy Temple. Holy to the Christians because it's the site of a number of different stations involved in Jesus' crucifixion. And in Islam, it is supposedly the site where the Dome of the Rock, which I'll show you guys in class, in Jerusalem is a site where Muhammad ascended to heaven. So can't see it anymore. The live stream cut off. I've still got it working. We'll see how this goes. So Jerusalem, capital of Israel. Again, if you're looking at a map, it'll be very easy to figure out where it is. Holy city in Islam, birthplace of Muhammad, destination of pilgrimage. Mecca is the site of the pilgrimage, or the location of the main pilgrimage in Islam. Medina, another holy city in Islam. This is the location where Islam was actually founded. Muhammad was born in Mecca and fled to Medina. We'll talk about that more when we get into, excuse me, when we get into the rise of Islam. Muhammad, founder, central prophet, central religious figure of Islam. Calligraphy. Calligraphy is decorative handwriting or lettering. It can be any form. It can be any language. It just means writing that is not just meant to be used for communication, but also decorative in art form. Strait. Narrow strip of water connecting two larger bodies of water. So, and the picture there that I've got on Quizlet illustrates it pretty well. But a strait, such as the Bosphorus, or the Strait of Hormuz, or the Strait of Gibraltar, these are all straits that narrow pieces of water between two pieces of land connecting larger bodies of water. So, for example, the Strait of Gibraltar connects the Atlantic Ocean and the Mediterranean Sea. It's the southern tip of Spain and the northern tip of Morocco. The Bosphorus, it's what's separating the two sides of Constantinople, or separating the two sides of Istanbul, depending on when we're talking about it. The Bosphorus actually is interesting because when Constantinople was a city in the Byzantine Empire, they stretched a giant metal chain across the Bosphorus Strait. And when they wanted ships for defense, when they didn't want ships to get through, they would just tighten the chain, and so it would go slack when it was loose. When they wanted the ships to stop, it would tighten up above the water, and it would cut ships trying to come through. The Kaaba. The Kaaba is a large black stone, or it's a large black cube, rather. It is really the holiest site in Islam. It is the center of the Islamic pilgrimage of the The steppe, S-T-E-P-P-E. The steppe is flat grasslands, mainly found in modern-day Mongolia. I know the name, it's pronounced steppe, like, oh, it's 5 steps up to that door, but it is sort of the opposite. A steppe is a flat grassland. Persia. Persia is the ancient name for modern-day Iran, located in Central Asia. Persia is a distinct ethnic group. Persians are not Arabs. They do not speak Arabic. They are not from the Arabian Peninsula. So they are different groups, and it's important to keep that in mind. The Tsar. The T-Z-A-R. The T is kind of silent. Excuse me. The Tsar. The Tsar is the Russian emperor before 1917. It's a newer word. We're not going to get to Russia for a little bit in the unit, but I want to go ahead and introduce you guys to the vocab for this because Tsar is a different word than you might be used to. And then a Tsardom is just an area ruled by a Tsar. A Muslim. A Muslim is someone who practices the religion of Islam. So Islam is the religion. Muslim are people who practice that religion. So for example, you have Christianity, which is the religion. Christians are the people. Judaism is the... So a Muslim, nobody practices Muslim. Muslim is the people. Islam is the religion. A caliph. So a caliph, and that's how it's pronounced, not caliph. It's about emphasis. The caliph is the political and religious successor to Muhammad. So the caliph, there was debate after Muhammad died between two different groups, the Sunnis and the Shia, over who was going to be the new leader of Islam. This was decided over the course of a few hundred years, but it is still the primary separating factor between the two main branches of Islam. And we'll talk about that more when we get to our first schism. And then the caliphate is an area ruled by a caliph. So you have a czar ruling a czardom. You have a caliph ruling a caliphate. A king rules a kingdom. The first of the two groups, the Sunni, one of the main denominations in Islam. We will talk about them more when we get to the Sunni-Shia split. But they are one of the groups that, they're the group that backed Muhammad's father-in-law, Abu Bakr, because he was decided by a vote of the clans. And that vote is referred to as shura. It's the voting consensus, the agreement of votes, the majority of votes, rather, that dictate according to Sunnis. The Shia, or Shiite, is the other denomination. They believed that Muhammad's cousin or son-in-law, his cousin slash son-in-law, believed that he should have been the first caliph. According to them, Ali was chosen by Muhammad to be the next leader of Islam. A clan. A clan is a group of close-knit, interrelated families. So a clan is a sort of advanced tribal organization. So with a tribe, it would normally be a smaller unit. A clan would often be multiple smaller tribes that join together under one banner, supporting one leader. Excuse me. The Shah. The Shah is the ruler of Persia, modern day Iran, remember. The Shah was the ruler in Persia or Iran before 1979. Let's see what else. The Quran, the holy text in Islam, written in Arabic. Allah. Allah is just the name for God in Arabic. It's the same monotheistic God as Christianity and Judaism. It's just the Arabic word for God. Every language word for the same thing. The word potato in English is one thing. It's other words in other languages. Allah is just the Arabic name for God. Hajj, H-A-J-J, is the annual pilgrimage to Mecca. It's part of the 5 pillars of Islam, which are the central tenets, the main principles of Islamic practice and faith. And the Hajj, this pilgrimage to Mecca, is mandatory at least once in every Muslim's lifetime, if they can go. So if you can't afford to go in your lifetime, that's okay. Islam says that's fine. If medically you can't go, if you're physically unable to go, Islam understands that. They don't want anybody killing themselves trying to go on this pilgrimage. Schism. I put schism in here again because this is the unit where we're going to really start talking about schisms. We have the Sunni Shia split. We have the Great Schism of 1056. We have 2 of the 3 to 4 real major schisms that we have. Again, schism, rule of threes, a definitive rift, break, or split due to ideological, theological, and doctrinal differences. The last 2, anti-Semitism. So anti-Semitism is hostility towards or prejudice against Jews. So traditionally, the word Semitic is used to refer to a group of languages, including Hebrew. These days, it's Semitism, Semites, are referred to primarily when people are talking about the Jews, specifically in the context of anti-Semitism. And then the last term on the list, Islamophobia. Literally, Islam, the religion, phobia, fear. Islamophobia. In theory, the word means fear of Islam. But in reality, the way it's used is to describe this fear or hatred of Muslims. Like most phobias, it generally is associated with a sort of irrational, sort of gut reaction. There's no real impetus behind it. Like anti-Semitism, it's basically just the name for people who hate Islam. So, I haven't been looking at your chats. just a reminder, if you haven't already in the chat section, please make sure that you type your name so I can mark you down in my book as having attended and at least participated. Yeah, because it won't show me who just like is viewing. Like I don't have that. It just says viewers. And if you don't show what, if you don't type your name, it'll be tough for me to keep track of who is actually. Are there any questions about any of the vocabulary that I've talked about, or any of the terms that are in the Unit 2 Intro Vocab Quizlet? If so, please type them now. Oh. You know, I never noticed just how weird that looks when I crack my neck. It does look like I'm about to snap my own neck off. Huh. Oh well. Live and learn. Thank you, Charlie, for helping indicate who that actually is. Do a magic trick. No. Wear your bow tie. Where is that I have a dress shirt on? Though I thought about having a dress shirt, I decided against it. Are we still going to talk about 9/11? Yes. It'll be an abbreviated lesson. I'm going to trim down some of what I talk about, but I still think it's important that we talk about it, that I talk about it with you guys. So we'll be talking about it some, but part of the reason I wanted to do this is so that I could go ahead and start, at least for some of you guys, getting the vocab out to you and getting you to engage with the vocab, so I don't have to spend as much time on the vocab, and I have a little bit more time to spend on the 9/11 lesson, because it is important to me that we talk about this stuff. I do still encourage you guys, if you have questions, to bring them with you. Yeah, come on, guys, watch the language. It's not nice. I do have, let's see, where was it? I want to see if I can find it. Yeah. Alrighty. If you guys get a chance, check out this YouTube video. Oh, you guys are ruining it for the others who hadn't clicked on it yet. Yeah, that's how old I am. I rickroll people on YouTube. Yeah, got each and every one of you. Um, all right, so thank you all for joining me. I'm going to send out the link to this video once it's compiled. But yeah, thank you all for checking in, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.